Oh, this apron. Bet you're wondering where I got it, huh? Well, the truth is we have our own mythical store. And if you dig yourself this apron, you can find it in the link below, or you can go to redbubble.com and search for Mythic Madness. So go ahead and one more time, that is redbubble.com/Mythic Madness, or you can click the link below in the comments. Thank you again. Now on to the show.
Yeah. Cooking with Nathan. We cooking with Nathan. You cooking with Nathan. Cooking with Nathan. Cooking with Nathan. You cooking with Nathan. Cooking with Nathan. Cooking with Nathan. You cooking with Nathan. Who's cooking? I'm cooking. We cooking. You cooking. You cooking with Nathan.
Welcome to Cooking with Nathan. It's your boy, Nathan Villains. In this episode, we're gonna be cooking some homemade pancakes. I'm gonna do some bougie ass, fruity homemade syrup. We're also gonna be doing hash browns, and I got some beef bacon. Not a lot of people, fuck with the beef bacon. I find it to be a shame because it's higher in protein, and don't quote me on this, I'm not a scientist, but I think it's better for your cholesterol. Probably not. I'm probably just pulling that out of my ass, but let's get started. Now, the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is start on your syrup, because that's gonna take the longest to emulsify, combine, and whatnot. So let's get those ingredients. Apples. And I know what you're thinking, Nathan, that's fucking weird. But you know what? Sometimes art is weird. And I'm gonna show you why this is actually amazing. So if you follow along at home, get yourself one green, I believe these are Granny Smith apples. I don't know, I'm not really an apple expert, but there they are in their little baggie. You know what I'm talking about? So there's that. You're gonna wanna peel the little sticker off, give them a rinse. But since you're cooking them, it'll probably kill all the bacteria that's on there. Anyway, I like to be on the safe side, so I give them a rinse myself. After that, get you a knife. If you can find one. Full transparency, I forgot to bring my own knife to set today. So I'm using this guy. Let's hope I leave with all my fingers, am I right? So you're gonna wanna cut around the core. You don't want any seeds in there for this recipe. Come on, fucker. And then just kind of cut like that if you do get some core in there. And then cut them into probably 1/2 inch thick slices like so. Here's a fun fact about pancakes. They don't give a fuck if you can pay your rent. Pancakes are the favorite breakfast of a lot of people, but I believe the most influential, at least in my life, is your homie and mine, Lou Ferrigno. It's his favorite pancakes. It's his favorite breakfast. There you go. And then once you do that, you're going to come over here, find a pot that looks like this or similar, and then you're going to turn the burner on. You're gonna want, I'd say about a little lower than medium, because we know this stove and it's a little testy. You remember the lasagna soup episode? I sure do. All right, now go over here, get your butter. You're gonna want a whole stick for the recipe for this syrup to make sure everything combines properly. Put that out of there. And as tempted as you may be to just throw it in with the wrapping on it, do not let the intrusive thoughts win. You wanna unwrap it before you throw it in there. Otherwise, your fingers are gonna be a greasy mess when you try to pick it out later, or you're gonna ingest some weird dyed wax paper, and I don't think you wanna do that. I don't. Pop it in there, let it melt. While that's happening, come get your apples, come back to the pot, and throw them in, because you want these to have a pretty soft texture, you feel me? Then you're gonna get your sugar, wipe your hand real quick, get that butter grease off. As you can tell, I am not wearing any gloves. It's hard for me to remember these things sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you, so I kind of just said screw it. I'm going bareback with the cooking. Now, you're gonna want a whole cup of sugar because I don't know if you know this, but syrup is very sweet. And then you're gonna wanna dump it into here. And then wait for that to become one thing. Now, while you're doing that, you want to have a skillet like this or similar. I like to cook on a flat top, especially with things like hash browns. And usually I'd make my own hash browns, but for the sake of brevity and because you guys saw what I did with those potatoes during the steak episode, it's pretty much the same. You just shred them instead of cubing them. So let's get our potatoes out and ready. They're in one solid chunk, so it's gonna be a pain in the ass to break them up, but we can do it. All right, that's good. I would not recommend using olive oil to cook the potatoes in because it has a very low temperature smoking point. You might smoke yourself out of your own house, set off the fire alarms, all that fun shit. So to avoid that, we're gonna use some vegetable or canola oil. Here we are. You know, back in the day when I used to make these on TikToks, I used to set the camera in the cabinet and open it up so it would be like a surprise. But we're leveling up over here, so we're dealing with real equipment now. We don't need to do that. Treat our equipment like a phone. Are you kidding me? All right, so make sure you got good coverage on everything before you throw your hash browns down. Let that get up to temperature and come back and check on your syrup. See how it's doing. Maybe turn this up a little bit, kind of mix everything around here. Now the apples are not the only fruit we're gonna throw in here. We're just starting with it. Capiche? Capiche? So once your oil is ready and heated up, you're gonna wanna throw the hash browns into the skillet. And depending on how many people you're feeding, or if you just really like hash browns, you can put as little or as much as you want. If you don't even like hash browns, you can use something else, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm holding this right next to my mic, so you're welcome. And then just throw the excess in there. Something I like to do when I'm cooking hash browns is just shape them up, like so. Kind of section them off. Make sure you got a good even coverage so that way they cook more evenly. Bada bing, bada boom, Lou for Rick Browns. Sometimes they piss me off because they don't section out right, but they wouldn't like me when I'm angry. All right, so once you've got your hash browns down and seasoned, salt, pepper, you get it. You're gonna move on to your pancakes. For these, you're gonna want to start with your dry ingredients, of course. And for that, you're gonna need 2 fucking cups. Ignore that. You're gonna need 2 cups, 2 of these motherfuckers. Come here, bitch. Come fucking. All-purpose flour. Then you're gonna want a 1/4 cup sugar. Which is this guy. Boom. Then you're gonna need 4 teaspoons of your baking powder, which I have right here. Sorry, there you go. Which is different than baking soda, but you're gonna use that too. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then a half teaspoon of your baking soda. You could use any brand really, but I'm pretty sure that Arm & Hammer has a monopoly on the baking soda market, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Johnny? That's right. Boom. Let's get that little rock in there, you know what I'm talking about? So what I like to do is mix all the ingredients actually together before I put any wet ingredients in there. And then you want to make a little divot in the middle so that all your wet ingredients can fit there. Now for this, we're going to put this right here. We're going to take out some of this butter because you need some melted butter for this. You need about 4 tablespoons of that shit. Right there. On most butter brands, 4 tablespoons is going to be almost exactly the halfway point, just like that. So for that, we're going to take this, we're going to run over to our pan, melt this down, and while we're doing that, we'll add the rest of our wet ingredients. Oh. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Come back over here. Now while that's happening, let's check on our hash browns, see how they're doing. Okay, they're not sticking together. That really pisses me off when that happens. So we're gonna give them some more time to maybe rethink their life decisions and do better, you know what I mean? And that's what you really gotta do with friends that are really pissing you off. Just leave them alone, let them rethink their life decisions, and hopefully they'll come to a better conclusion than the one you were hoping they didn't make, you feel me? Anyway, for our wet ingredients, we're gonna use 1 large egg, bada bing. And then we're going to use, I believe it's 1.5 cups of milk. At least that's what I'm doing. If these come out fucked up, you can blame me. Fucking motherfucker. Ah, fucker. Oh, it's coming off. I did that. Let me just make sure. So it's actually 1 3/4 cups milk. So we're gonna go, bam, 1 Junjito. And let's see, where's the quarter measurements on this motherfucker? I think it's on this side. There we go. Boom. Into there. Then here is one of my favorite secrets for this delicacy is some vanilla. Now they tell you to put about 1 tablespoon in there. I eyeball it because, you know, vanilla is a good ingredient. Expensive but good, you know what I'm talking about? I just buy the McCormick brand because why get fancy with it? Bam. Boom. If you got a problem with how much vanilla is in there, maybe, you know, I don't know, look in the mirror for a while. Ask yourself why you don't like the overpowering aroma or taste of vanilla. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, back to these hash browns. Let's see if they've reevaluated the situation. And it looks like they might have. Let's give them a flip, shall we? See? You just gotta lean on them a little bit. That's all, man. Life is all about ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, you feel me? I don't know what the fuck that has to do with what we're doing today, but you'll figure it out. Again, if you got a problem with anything I'm doing, the comments are open. And just let me know what it is I should be ignoring from you, okay? Okay, so at this point, what you're gonna wanna do with your syrup is get some tongs and then fish out the spatula you were using to mix it with, okay? Then you can give it a mix like this. It looks like those apples are softening up a bit, so what I'm gonna do is remove this, put it back over here. Grab another ingredient, which is gonna be these raspberries, because I don't know about you, but I like me some raspberries. Bam! You put a handful of raspberries in there. You know what I'm talking about? How you like them apples? Now give it a mix. Mix these into here like so. Lower the heat a little bit. Let it simmer. Oh, actually, that's a bad idea. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put these back. All right. Now, we're gonna take our melted butter, turn the burner we were using off. Jesus Christ. Come back over here. And then we're gonna get ready to start mixing. So what I like to do is I'm dropping the butter in, is give it a preliminary mix to get everything ready to go. Because of the temperature difference, the butter's gonna wanna solidify right away. And we don't want that to happen. We want it to become part of everything that's going on. We want to get it nice and incorporated. And if you just let it sit there, it's gonna become kind of like edible candle wax. And we don't want that. Now you want to get it as smooth as you can, but if you can't beat all the lumps out, that's okay. They call those characteristic lumps, and they're there to give it character, you know what I mean? Like when you were younger, you used to get lumps, you used to take lumps, you know what I'm talking about? It builds character, man, when you get beat up, so just think of it that way. Make sense? I don't care. All right, so that's going. Good shit. We're gonna get the bacon ready. Bacon time. All right, so I'm about to throw the bacon onto the flat top, and as I don't have any kitchen scissors, I'm just gonna use this knife. Now, two things I want you to know about what I'm about to do is that A, I'm not gonna use this knife anymore, so it's fine. I'm gonna put it right in the sink. And B, I'm going to wash my hands again, all right? It's really important that you wash your hands whenever you're handling raw meat, or I'd like to wash my hands just, you know, whenever. I don't have a problem, you do, okay? So you open these like that, and you get into them, well, if it works the first time. You open these like so, and then you kind of peel back the packaging to get into them. Jesus Christ. They really don't want you to get that beef bacon, man. Okay. And fucking, why is everything so hard today? It's a good thing I show you what not to do too, isn't it? what would you do? Okay, so the first thing you'll notice about the beef bacon is that the texture is slightly different than regular bacon, and that is, I'd say it's a little less fatty. It may look a little more fatty, but like the texture itself isn't as sticky togethery because it's not as greasy. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but it probably will if you ever handle beef bacon. And we're just gonna throw that into there, let it cook. And then we are going to wait for this to be done so we can drop our pancakes. Now let's come over here to our syrup. And you'll see what I'm doing here is just kind of letting it reduce a little bit. I got my raspberries, that's what they're called, and my apples in there. I also put a little bit of cinnamon in there because I like festive things. You know what I'm talking about? Now we're gonna go wash my hands. Pancakes. All right, now that you've pulled your bacon, you can go ahead and use this whole space for your pancakes. So the first thing you want to do is throw down some of this here butter, like this. And then you're going to take the 1/3 cup measuring cup, I guess, and then get a good glob like that and start putting it in there. On top of. And then repeat the process all the way down the line. And these are gonna fluff up. Holy fluff, these are gonna get fluffy. You know what I'm talking about? During the break right now, Johnny Arson was talking to me about exploding toes and weird shit like that. And this is how I'm dealing with it. Just talking to you about it now. Put that to the side. These are going to expand, so you want to wait for them to do that. And then once you flip them, you put the butter on the other side of them. That's the secret. I'll show you that too. Don't worry. I know you're dying to hear it. So it is what it is. Pancakes part 2. All right, so you would think because this is a flat top, it all cooks evenly, and you would be absolutely wrong. Because this little corner right here is going to be hotter than, like, say, around this area. Therefore, this one's going to be done first. And you want them to be just like that. That is like a perfect looking pancake. And then you butter this side so that they don't get too dry. And then just repeat the process down the line. This one's a little, you know, doodle bob, fucking egg yolk-yo looking. We're going to flip it anyway. It's okay if it lands in the other one. It's not going to make a huge deal. But if it starts to travel around the flat top, that's when you have a problem. Just kind of prod it back to where you fucking want it to go, you fucking son of a bitch. And then flip them. Boom. And boom. And then apply your butter to your flapjacks across the board there till they glisten. Like the sweat on your brow in the summer months. You feel me? That was poetic. It's because it's from Leaves of Grass. Okay, so after a few minutes, you got yourself a good fucking spread here. You want to get your spatula under there, give it a fucking toss. You know what I'm talking about? And then you can repeat the process for all of them. Boom. Bada bing. That one could use another minute, and so could this one. But you get the idea. Eggs! All right, so to cap off the breakfast that we are making today, what we're gonna do is some over easies. Now, people like to apply the over easies directly to the pan. I think that's a mistake. I think you get a more even cook if you first put them in something else like so. Boom. And then the secret to good eggs, I'll do it in a second. I'm not gonna tell you right now. I don't feel like it. Get your stove going. Bring your eggs over here. wait for it to heat up. A lot of people like to use Pam, that's fine. I like to use butter because I am from technically the Southwest, and I don't know if you know this, but we like to use butter. You know what I'm talking about? We like to use butter, bro, okay? Okay, so once the butter's up to temperature, you want to take your eggs in the measuring cup here and pour them directly onto the pan, and they're going to cook pretty fast. Now, the secret is to kill this membrane right here, and then that way you get better coverage. Bam, see what I'm talking about? There we go, and we let that simmer away. And there you have it, folks. Some bougie pancakes, bacon, eggs, and hash browns garnished with some strawberries with your homemade fruity syrup, brought to you by yours truly, Nathan fucking Villains. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out Lou Ferrigno. Don't forget to stop by redbubble.com/mythicmadness, or you can click the link in the comments. Pick yourself up one of these aprons or maybe phone case, whatever you want, whatever's your style. We got pretty much everything. You have a good one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to. Talk your shit. I'm ready for it. Have a good one. Deuces.